The movie begins with Hannah and her husband traveling to his father's mansion for his 75th birthday celebration. Hannah is anxious about the visit, as she wasn't formally invited by her father-in-law, and feels that her husband's wealthy family looks down on her. Her husband reassures her, reminding her that she is now part of the family. When they arrive at the grand estate, they are greeted by the rest of the family, the oldest brother, the middle sister, and the youngest sibling, Kami. However, the siblings are cold and suspicious, believing Hannah married their brother for his money. As the family gathers for what they think is a birthday party, the father surprises them by announcing that something far more sinister is at play. He reveals that someone in the house will try to kill him that night. He has installed a high-tech security system throughout the mansion to prevent anyone from leaving or entering. He then gives them an unsettling proposition. If he survives the night, he will divide his fortune among his children, but if he dies, everything will go to charity. This declaration shocks the family, who think it might be a twisted test of loyalty or a joke. Later that evening, Kami, the youngest sister, wanders into the wine room and hears strange noises. She senses a presence following her and tries to escape, but the door locks, trapping her inside. She panics until her brother arrives and frees her, but she remains terrified, convinced that something paranormal is in the house. As the family tries to understand what's happening, tensions between Hannah and the siblings escalate, with the father refusing to accept her as part of the family. Later in the night, Kami is near the swimming pool when she is attacked by a mysterious force. A dark shadow emerges from the water, and before she can escape, she is killed by a spirit. Her body is discovered by the other family members, and they immediately suspect foul play. The siblings accuse Hannah of murder, believing that since she isn't truly part of the family, she must have some ulterior motive for being there. Hannah's husband defends her, but the atmosphere becomes tense and distrustful. At this point, the father reveals more shocking information. The house is indeed haunted by a malevolent spirit. The spirit, he explains, is seeking revenge because of a corrupt business deal he had made in the past. The father shows some regret for his actions, but he's more focused on surviving the night. Despite the tragedy of Kami's death, he informs the family that Hannah will now be included in his will, further enraging the siblings, who see her as a gold digger. The older brother, furious over Kami's death and the father's decision to favor Hannah, grabs a gun, swearing to protect the family and eliminate anyone responsible for the death. Strange, eerie events continue throughout the night. Doors slam shut on their own, shadows creep through the hallways, and the security system locks everyone inside the house, isolating them from the outside world. The siblings' paranoia grows, and they begin to conspire against Hannah and her husband. At one point, they lure the couple into a cold storage room, hoping to trap them inside and leave them to freeze to death. Meanwhile, Hannah and her husband fight to escape, encountering supernatural forces along the way. They come face to face with a demonic entity that seems to be stalking the house, targeting family members. As they struggle to survive, the siblings' greed and desperation grow stronger, with the prospect of their father's fortune tearing them apart. Two siblings, realizing that their father is responsible for their other siblings' deaths, they confront him, and he admits to making a deal with a demon. He explains that he sacrificed all his children to the demon so that he could become immortal and avoid dying. He is 75 years old and wants to live forever, even if it means sacrificing his own bloodline. After this confession, the father suddenly shoots his son, killing him on the spot. Hannah, witnessing this, becomes terrified and heartbroken. The father then turns on Hannah, revealing that she was never truly considered part of his family. Despite this, he attempts to kill her, but only injures her hand. She runs away and hides in the house. While searching for her, the father confesses that he always disapproved of his son marrying her, and this made him angry. However, Hannah finds a gun, shoots her father-in-law, and traps him under fallen furniture. She then reveals that she and his son had bought him a birthday gift, an ultrasound picture. She tells him that she is pregnant with his grandson, meaning his bloodline will continue. The demon, who was listening to the conversation, appears and kills the old man. Hannah escapes the house, heartbroken over the loss of her husband. As morning comes, the old man's security guard sees her leave the house, now as the heir to all the family's wealth since she carries the last of the bloodline. She leaves in the car, filled with both sadness and a sense of victory, and the story ends.